Well, hello friends, and welcome back to the cabin. We got a big show for you today. We got to remove some trees that could potentially be a threat in a windstorm. Need to get those knocked out and out of the way, and then the main focus is going to be on the little outhouse, getting the walkway repaired. So we've got a lot of work to do, and I've cut out all of the fluff. So let's get started. Well, I believe that's going to take care of the problems of the pines up here behind the cabin, because we're supposed to get another big storm. So I'm hoping that will do the trick and save the tower and the cabin, because the winds are going to be coming from the south, which is back in this direction, heading that way as far as I understand. So hopefully that'll take care of it. Well, it's sunny today, but it is quite windy, as you could probably hear. I went ahead and got some of that concrete so that I can try to get those tubes poured where we can get the post set, but I've got to find the wheelbarrow. Well, I didn't get too far, did I? I figured I needed probably 2 bags because this one's going to be very short. I've got 1 bag left over there, but I didn't realize that half of it on the bottom was hard as a rock. So that's why I didn't mix up any more, but I went ahead and used what I had down in here. That still gives me a place to pour into to kind of lock it in. And then once these set up, it's not going to lift up either. Anyway, I'm going to have to make another run to the hardware store for some more concrete. Well, I'm glad that we got those 2 poured because tomorrow and the next day we are supposed to be getting another front coming through, another big storm, which makes number 6 or 7 now in the last 2 weeks. I can't, there've been so many I can't count them now. But possibility of tornadoes, hail, and wind gusts up to 56 miles per hour for the next 2 days, and then the third day will be down to around 35 miles per hour. So hopefully, now that we've got those trees cut and we've got these in the ground, because I probably won't be videoing too much because of the trouble that I would have with audio. But once these are set up, friends, then we can cut our post to go down there. We can take the other 2 out, and then we can cut our 2 rails that are going to come up and sit on these, and we can begin to put the walkway on and then add the handrail back. So Let's hope that the weather doesn't turn too bad so that we can get this project finished. What? What are you waiting on? You want to go to the creek? Well, it's that time again. I'm going to put on these sunglasses because this sun certainly is bright out here. Well, this is the calm before the storm. It's supposed to start winds getting up to, like I said, 56 miles per hour starting around midnight tonight. So I'm going to run down here and see if there's a log that we can cut up real quick for the posts, and then I need 2 rails or 2 sleepers, whatever you want to call them. So we're going to walk down here and see what we've got available. I do have 2 pieces of hickory right here that I could use for the upright post, and then I have this maple right here. I've got mainly pine right there. I've got some of that black walnut stacked in there, and then some of it stacked over here. What are you doing? Are you at the creek? You going to take a sponge bath? Then I have this tree right here. Not really sure what that is. Although we do have those concrete columns sticking up out of the ground, so won't be any more wood actually having contact with the ground, so it should last a whole lot longer this time. Although the deck, you know, I'll have to treat it maybe every 2 or 3 years with some oil because the other one hadn't been treated. Then over here by Jennifer's, I've got this maple right here. So now I have to decide which one I'm going to use for the rails and which one I'm going to use for the posts. I think that the hickory I could use for the posts, and then possibly this maple might be my next choice for my rails. I'm just going to have to treat it really good so that I won't have to do it for a couple of 2 or 3 years and then be able to give it another coat. The biggest thing was that bridge was never treated because honestly I didn't even think that it would be there that long, but here it is 5 years later, 6 years later, and it's still here. Anyway, I'm gonna run up here, get the tractor, and come back down here and grab one of these logs. Not really knowing what kind of wood that is, though I'm sure that it would probably last, I'm almost feeling that I need to use this hickory. Well, that's what that hickory looks like. I'm going to put my money on the hickory because when I got to comparing those two, like I said, without knowing what that wood is, I think I much rather trust these. These have been there for, I guess now about a year that I cut those, maybe a year and a half, so I know that they've dried out and they've shrunk all they're going to shrink. But this hickory, I think once I burn it and oil it really good, where they rest, I got to be sure and oil the top of that, as well as the planks themselves, and probably every 2 or 3 years put a new coat on them. But I think I'm going to go with the hickory. Well, we've got the post cut, and I'm going to cut the cross member. Well, I literally almost ran out of propane, but these two bottom ones right here are going to be my posts, and then this is going to sit on top of the post and will allow me to be able to put 6 inches, because it's 12 inches wide, up underneath the current beam that I've already got, and then the new beam I'll have another 6 inches for it to rest on top of this to go on out and build a walkway. So leave me some comments and let me know, once I oil this, and since I have burned it, do you think that this hickory is going to last? Alright friends, well, those are done. Once they're dry, I'm going to give them another coat, and I want you to picture, if you will now, these standing up, they will turn this way, then that ledger will go right on top, and that's going to sit on the columns that we've poured, and it's going to go right up underneath the two rails that currently exist to hold that up once I cut them off. Then the other rails will continue on, and they will be fastened to the front columns as well. So there won't be any twisting or turning this way, because these will be long ways, and then there won't be any this way because I will be anchored to all four columns. So I think that that's going to beef it up and help it out a great deal. And I've also got some angle iron right here that we're going to beat into shape for what we need, and we will use that to anchor those down to the columns. Well, I'm making myself a little bit of breakfast, and we'll feed the dogs, and then I'm going to get out there and see if I can't get that ledger board screwed on the top of those legs and get that in position where those others can be cut off and we can begin to build a walkway on the outhouse. All right, let's go see if we can get this thing put together. Well friends, I hope that you're enjoying the build. I think that I will be able to get it done within the next video. That's including the treads to walk on as well as the handrail. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by. We certainly do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.